Well, it is a beautiful spring day here, early spring day. Well, I don't even know if it's officially spring or not, but it's a beautiful day nonetheless. Time to get some garden work done today, get some compost spread, get the beds ready for planting into. Hey guys, welcome back to another Slightly Rednecked video. Again, my name's Chris. If you're not familiar with this channel, I help you to produce your own meat, eggs, and vegetables from your backyard, your balcony, your deck, your garage, or heck, even a spare room in your house if that's the way you want to do it. Right now we're out here at the city compost facility, and you can't see all behind me, but there's piles and piles of unfinished compost over there. They just kind of bring in all the mowing scrap and all that kind of stuff and pile it up, and then they turn it. By the time it gets down to here, it's finished compost and it's free for the taking. So this is a great free resource. Now the deal is, it's not really free because you're either paying for it with money or you're paying for it with labor. But you know, I do come out and take advantage of this, and we were able to load my truck up with probably about $100 worth of compost in about half an hour. Had my wife helping me. I don't even think it took us quite 30 minutes to get loaded up. Let me show you what we got going on here. All right, so you can see the back of the truck here, just full of compost. We got, you know, I think compost right now goes for about $40, $45 a scoop, and that's probably at least 2 scoops worth of compost. And it didn't take us very long to load it up, so saved us quite a bit of money, about $100, probably give or take a few dollars. All right, so if you have a compost facility and you have big piles of compost like this where you can go and take it, show you a little trick I learned that I think makes loading it a little bit easier. You know, I do bring a shovel, I bring a pitchfork to kind of break this stuff up if I need to. But honestly, the best tool I've found for loading compost is a 5-gallon bucket, because I can just lay it down here, and this stuff's pretty loose. And then just kind of scoop the stuff in here, fill it up, and there's 5 gallons worth of compost. Just dump it in the back of the truck, and that's a lot more than what a shovel will hold in a single shovel full. So to me, it's a lot easier to load up compost that way than it is to use a shovel. If you are going to use a shovel, I like a big snow shovel, great big, but you're going to need like a rake or something to rake into it because you can't dig in with a snow shovel very well. But anyway, that's worked great with using that process. We were able to load up this truck in, like I said, 20-30 minutes, something like that. All right, so got back with a load full of compost. Now I got to unload the compost, and I'm going to see what I can get on the garden beds first, and then just pile up the rest of it. This is where, you know, I don't know, 5-gallon bucket still works pretty well, but you know, maybe a shovel is a little bit easier. Get this stuff here near the end first. One thing about city compost is that there's a lot of trash in it. You got to kind of sift through a little bit. I don't worry about it too much, just get the obvious things out. All right, so my plan is, I've got this bed all raked out here, all the mulch off of it. So I'm going to lay down a big thick layer of compost over the top of that, and then come back with some rabbit manure and throw that over the top of that. But I got a whole lot of compost to get on here first. Need to get a rake and rake it out a little bit. Well, I got a good couple inches of compost laid out over the whole row here. So now it's time to go back over it, throw some rabbit manure over. I don't need to go that thick with it, so good thing because I don't have that much rabbit manure. But we're going to throw that on there. That'll be a good fertilizer for it. And I'm just sprinkling it around wherever it'll go. All right, so I got a couple inches of compost down, sprinkled over a little bit of a layer of rabbit manure. Now I need to get this bed covered, because if I don't cover it, nature will. And nature's going to cover it with grass seed and weeds and all kinds of stuff that I don't want in here. What I'm using for a cover, you could use wood chip mulch, straw mulch. You can use whatever you want to use for, covering it. I'm going to use some landscape fabric. I've got some pretty good heavy-duty landscape fabric. And the Bermuda grass has kind of worked its way into my garden over the last couple of years. So that stuff's pretty stubborn. Even with a thick layer of wood chip mulch on there, it's still kind of working its way up through there. So I'm going to use some landscape fabric over this bed. I'm just going to roll it out. I've taken, I just noticed I had fence posts up here, and that was just marking out beds and things like that. And so I'm going to just leave one row in there, just as kind of a guide to keep me straight. And then roll that out here, staple it in. That's about it for this section here. And then this garden bed will be ready to plant into. When I come back to plant into it, I'll just use my torch to burn some holes in where the plants are going to go and plant them right through the top of that landscape fabric. This is pretty good stuff I've got here. I think this is, I think it's Job's brand landscape fabric. They had a sale on it at the local Tractor Supply. So I picked up a couple of rolls of it. It's a 4 foot by 100 foot roll. So I should be able to get 2 complete rows done with one section of this. I think they're about 50-foot rows, so it's pretty close to that anyway. So anyway, I'm just going to get this rolled out a little bit and start stapling it in. Okay, so let's see. Try not to walk on my bed any more than I need to. All right, I think that pretty much wraps up this bed. It's ready to plant into. All I got to do is come back and put some holes in it for the plants and stick them in the ground, and it's ready to go. Well, that's one row down. I got 2 more to go. A little bit of work here, but it's all worth it in the end. And this kind of work is what I believe is good for the soul. It's good to get out and work on the ground every once in a while. Take advantage of a good spring day when it's not too hot out, not too cold. And boy, I couldn't have asked for better weather to do it in. So hopefully I'll get this stuff done. It'll probably take me over the next couple of weeks to get it done. I can pretty much only work on it on the weekends because, I have a full-time job, so I don't have all the time in the world to work on it. That's okay. I got several weeks before I have to worry about it too much anyway. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. As always, God bless.